Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today, we are going to be continuing on, with the Dominion of the Riftborns. Our party has managed to get out a spot of trouble, but they still have no idea where they are, what's going on, and where their missing party members are. Well, they have a guess, but we'll see how that goes for them. Today, our newest Stabby McStabberton is going to be catching us up on what's been going on. So, CL, tell me what's going on.
Okay, last week the session started with the party going upstairs looking for their equipment. We found some doors and we started with the furthest north. And as soon as we opened them, there were some baddies in there, three cultists and a caster, which we engaged. Um, as we were fighting them, Father Dalton, Saelwyn ran outside, Father Dalton followed, and so did Varen. Outside, Selwyn found a crystal of some sort, and she was able to break off Father Dalton's collar,
Crystal
but
Key.
it ended up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Crystal Key.
Crystal key, right? And but when Selwyn was able to remove the collar, it also exploded, almost knocking her unconscious. Meanwhile, in the northern room, Cornelius was taking the brunt of the damage in the fight, and he was knocked out. Um, the rest of the party heard the explosions outside, and they ran outside, and um, they saw that we all saw that uh, Father Dalton's uh, collar had been removed, and Vance and Varen also removed her collar, and Vance was able to remove hers by using the key as a grenade. Um, he blew up some baddies, and then the main door opened. I think there was some help in opening that door because as we were all trying to get out of the keep, we saw some people fighting on the walls of the roof. I mean, on the top of the walls, and we got out the front gate um, as smoke began to fill the courtyard, and vision was nearly impossible. But everyone yelled to get out, and we got out. As we were running out, we crossed a bridge, and we were in sort of a blizzard. As we were running, there was like um, snow, and our feet started to get frozen. But we heard a small voice coming from a corner, and we followed the voice, though we didn't see anything. Led us to a crevice in the side of the mountain, um, which we were able to squeeze through and get inside. And come to find out, the small voice was a mouse, and she explained that her name was Junie, and she was Saelwyn's friend. Now, Saelwyn had been knocked out, so we had to carry her and Cornelius. Once we got to the cave and we were all settled, they were able to revive um, both of them, and Saelwyn began working with the key immediately. Junie let the group know that there was some equipment in one of the tents, and CL and Cornelius gathered up gear that they needed to go back into the castle and rescue the people we left behind. And that's where we left off.
Go ahead and take that hero point. We are going to rejoin our party several hours after the escape from the keep as the party is starting to awaken the next morning.
Guessing we get a long rest out of that.
Yes.
Wait. Thank God. The gear we managed to find was it pretty much the starting gear that we were supposed to start with, or is it
Correct.
just basic stuff?
Normal starting gear.
So,
Each of these does.
but no magical stuff.
You have your common magic items.
Okay, so my moon touch long sword.
Not all. A lot of it's not the best fit, but it's not bad, and it's good enough until you can get somewhere where it could be fitted. Fitted. That's not how I say that word, I think. You can get it
Fitted.
fitted. But the lot of you are able to wake up. The fire in the pit is burning a little bit lower, so the lights are a little bit dimmer, but it is currently nice and toasty within the cavern. The torches, the lanterns, and the fire pit keeping the place generally warm. What would you like to do?
Zan's gonna go check on Saelwyn.
As you go in, you enter the tent in which you saw Saelwyn laid into. I don't remember if you laid Saelwyn in there or not.
No,
Somebody did.
Bella did.
Bella did. But as you head in there, you find Junie sitting next to her, running some, doing some magic hoo-has along her chest.
How's she holding?
If I'm honest, not well. It looks like her attempts to push past the collar did some rather considerable damage. It's going to take a while to heal from that. The
Would
lash
another
mark
medic
was-
help?
No, magic isn't going to help this.
All right. Well then, what can we do?
For her, nothing at the moment. It's going to be time that gets her back on her feet. Though, trying to keep her from trying to do anything stupid would probably be the best way to stop it from becoming exasperated.
Exacerbated.
That word, yes.
All right. Estimated time I should keep the key away from her.
If we wanted to be the most safe, I'd say at least 3 days, but I don't think we have that option.
All right. How long minimum does she need to wait before she does something stupid?
That was the minimum.
All right. How long can I realistically keep it from her?
Maybe a day?
All right.
But I don't think it's going to be too hard for that. She shouldn't wake up for at least another 18 hours.
All right. That I can deal with that. Is there anything that we can do in the meantime?
I'm not sure. I don't know what your plans are.
Figure out where the fuck we are for first.
The Iron Spur Mountains.
Means absolutely nothing to us. Do you have a map of, to be quite honest, whatever world we're on?
You're in the Kingdom of Avalon. Avalon.
I keep forgetting.
Avalon. Well, I think I have one laying about. Let's see if I can find it. Might not be labeled
Appreciate
anymore,
it.
though, but I know most places.
Appreciated.
You see, she hops down. Oh, are you thirsty?
I'm never one to pass up a drink.
And there's some tea hanging over the fire.
Appreciated.
Here's a nod as
I'll
the tiny mouse waddles their way out of the tent.
How bad does Saelwyn look?
You see, overall, you don't see a lot in terms of physical damage, but she is very pale and even more gaunt than when you first saw her.
Okay. I am going to put the back of my hand to her forehead. Is she running a fever?
No.
Okay. Well, then that's about as much as Xanth is gonna do. She's going to go corral the hooligan and Abella. Do we need anything?
As you head out, you do see Bella off on the side. Because Bella, I don't think you slept in a tent, correct?
Check, you muted. Yeah, and like G22, right?
Bella, for Bella.
Sorry, I couldn't get off mute for a second.
There you go.
Bella did just kind of, I think she ended up just kind of flopping down over by the entrance of the cave and just passed out because she was not looking good.
You
So,
currently see as you're coming out, Xanth. Bella can't breathe.
Like 30 minutes. Why? Yeah,
There's a dog laying across her face.
I'm going to go pick the dog off of Bella so that she may breathe.
They were like laid on their side, kind of. They were on their chest, but they rolled over, so they ended up on their face. And Bella,
The
you are
dog.
awake
uh,
as the dog gets removed from your
Bella would
face.
probably, Bella would probably pat the dog.
They twitch. They're still fast asleep, despite being in the air now.
Just look over at Xanth and say, "Oi, what's going on then?"
Someone's still out cold, and probably from the sounds of it will be for the rest of the day. Currently, there's tea on the fire. My suggestion would be to get up, get something to eat, grab the rest of them. Junie's going to grab a map of the area. So
Above the table, does Xanth have her stuff back, or is she still just in the
Xanth,
white stuff as well?
Xanth is fully armored at this point.
You can still
Then
see the
Bella's
armor
say,
doesn't fit all that well. It looks like it was made for somebody a little bit bigger than Xanth. But they're making do.
mhm. Bella would ask, where'd you get the armor?
Junie, there's an armory. I can show you.
I probably start there because I don't really think these robes have much of anything left, and wouldn't want to offend the loud one with the fact that you could probably see more of me than he wants to right now. He might get upset with his whatever it is about people without clothes on.
His Xanth will snort.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Xanth would know very well he has no such compunctions.
Oh, trust me, he doesn't care.
What Bella's seen. Say
Oh
what
no,
Bella's seen so
that is
far.
that is
Fear was not having clothes.
yeah. No, that was Bella's response was completely accurate. It does get a chuckle out of Xanth though. Come on, follow me. I'm gonna put the dog in front of the fire real quick, and then take Bella to where she can get equipped.
Before we walk away from the dog, Bella's going to look around to see if she sees Father Dalton anywhere near the dog.
Where is Father Dalton?
Father Dalton is probably just like he didn't really go into a tent last night. He literally just sat near the fire. He probably awakens up near the fire in the morning and just starts playing on his flute.
I put the dog on the opposite side of the fire.
Is Varen around? Or
Varen
Ciel
is actually going to be in the armory where you two are heading, probably scrounging up what she can.
And Ciel, is he around the fire at all?
Dan, you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized. Yes, Ciel is at the fire, just having breakfast.
Okay. Bella's just gonna look at you and then glance over at Father Dalton and say, watch the dog from that one. He can't be trusted. And then just follow Xanth.
Father Dalton rolls his eyes and just keeps playing on his flute.
Father Dalton, do you mean to hurt the dog?
I look back and say, like, no, I thought the dog was going in the wrong direction, so I assumed that it was best to just leave it to die if it was going to get itself killed.
Ah,
Group did not like that decision, so he
But
just shrugs his
now-
shoulders.
but now you're not. You don't mean the dog any harm now, do you?
I never mentioned any harm. I'm just gonna say if it's gonna get itself killed, don't let us get killed in the process.
I see. Very well.
I did not mean harm. Unfortunately, my bluntness came out the wrong way.
Yeah, I thought as much.
Xanth just shakes her head as she guides Bella towards the armory.
A very tense Bella.
Yeah, Xanth has like her hand on your shoulder and is just like, we're gonna keep on walking. Because we're gonna have to. Xanth is in the mindset of don't pick fights when these are the only allies you have. We'll pick fights later.
Right.
I guess we go in the armory, and that's where we find Baron. Then
You also can see Junie going through a barrel.
Junie is very small, and Bella is like she's easy to see what she's doing. Though I'm just thinking size difference or height difference.
Correct.
I'm sorry, Cece, I lost you. I don't know if it's just me or not.
Yes, you have it. Repeat what you just said because I think I missed it. I thought it was a statement, not a question.
Oh, no, I was just saying we can, like, it's easy to see her. I was just thinking you said Junie is very small, and I'm just thinking Bella is very tall, so it's easy to see her going through a barrel.
Yeah, Junie's only a couple inches tall.
Yes. Bella would probably be careful around around the barrel, but maybe just lean over and just say, help you find anything?
No, I got it. It'll be here somewhere. Just need to find the right one.
And the Pirate Queen said we can get armor and stuff in here.
Of course.
Right. Just look around until we find something that works, right?
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't be too bad. You should be able to get it pretty easy.
Then, yeah, Bella will just take a look around to find what she can find for her armor that she carries.
It would be anything that you would have naturally gotten. So I don't know if there'd be anything that properly fits Bella because I don't think you have starting armor, do you?
Bella just kind of has her. Bella wears. I don't think she really does armor. She has kind of like her little. It's not exactly armor, but she typically wears like her little stuff. She does carry a shield. Is one thing that she always has around with her is a shield. So that would probably be something, and clothing that is not a. She's trying to find clothing that is not whatever this white robe thing is that's mostly shredded.
There's definitely some more
and,
sturdy
a
clothes.
shield.
Nothing that really fits all that well, but definitely stuff that is usable.
Well, she'll take whatever she can get to where she's not running around in this, and a shield preferably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bella and Dalton are the only ones that don't need armor.
Okay.
Why is that going on? I have that on mute. Why is it dinging?
And I guess you see one other question since Bella has a collar on, she can't do any rage or shifting right now. Are there any kind of weapons I guess she could temporarily snag until something else could be picked up. I know before I had like a warhammer,
Yeah,
like
that
a
your
Moontech
starting gear
warhammer,
would
like
all
a
be
hand
here.
axe and stuff. Okay, perfect. Then I will snag onto that stuff.
It's not your actual starting gear, but it is the equivalent of your normal starting gear.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Xantha's gonna go up to Varen and go, "Hey, how are you doing this morning?"
Not too bad. How's our patience?
Gonna be out for a little bit. Dog snoring up a storm. I haven't checked on Cornelius yet, but for the most part, everyone seems okay.
He seems stubborn enough to be fine. How about you?
I've taken worse. Not the first time a cult tried to kill me. Won't be the last.
Puts us in the same boat. Do you know
Aye?
what the plan is?
Currently, Junie's working on getting us a map of the area. Obviously, we need to get the colors off, but Vernon's not going. Not Vernon. Selwyn's not going to wake up for at least another 18 hours. Logically, we're going to need about. They're going to need about 3 days of rest before doing anything stupid. But Junie said that that's probably not going to happen, as we don't necessarily have the time. But once we get the colors off, we need to go back for those that we had to leave behind. We should be
Yeah.
better equipped now, though I'm not going to lie. Even without the collars, magic feels funny.
There's parts of it missing. I agree with you on that.
Above table clarification.
Mm-hmm.
It's my cleric spells that are funky, correct?
Yeah.
My sorcerer ones are fine.
It's still a little bit different, but not as much.
Okay.
What's up, her?
That being said, I have to admit, my cleric ones seem to be the most out of sorts.
Yeah, the ones I get for my patron aren't great either.
Granted, something tells me we're a bit far from the gods, or at least ours.
I hope not, honestly. Not too far.
I mean,
still
there's.
have work to do.
Speaking that
Yep.
we can still use them, we can't be too terribly far, but far enough away that it's an issue.
Yeah, it is. But we'll just have to deal, won't we?
Not much else we can do.
What is CL doing during all of this?
I will just sit by the fire and
There's a snoring
observe.
dog with you.
Right. Definitely petting the dog. Also, I'm curious about this the interior of the cave and just if there's any like other ways out or in other than the one we came.
Not that you
I'd
can
like to.
see. It mostly looks like a rather circular room. It has a lot of space, a decent amount of headroom. You're looking about 12 feet before you see the stone again. Tents are set up, a lot of room to move around. But the only entrance that you can see is the one that is now covered, as Selwyn sealed it before collapsing.
And there's no way for us to get out right now.
Unless you can figure out how to get through the stone wall. No. But it's also probably helping you, as it's helping to keep all the heat that is being produced trapped inside this room to help stay away from the blizzard that was roaring outside the night before.
Right. Very well. I'll just wait.
Got it. What is Cornelius up to as he wakes up?
Cornelius would probably be in one of the tents, stripped bare to the breeches and just snoring away. What would wake him up though? Like he would probably be in a deep sleep because he was hurt. He was hurt pretty bad the night before.
Oh, I'm gonna come and wake you up in a moment. So,
Well-
yeah, once I'm done in there, I will inform the rest of those in there that I'm going to go wake you up.
You would just find me
Um,
strewn across the bedroll, arms and legs splayed out, snoring softly. He's not the kind of person like Tortuga whose snores could shake a house to their foundation, but he is still snoring.
There. What was that, Bella?
Bella would probably, well, I'm assuming that she probably just changed in front of everyone because I think she's pretty well used to being in a place where you don't really have a lot of privacy. And would maybe just look at Xanth and Baron and Junie and be like, is there anything you need me to do at all? Like, I know that Saelwyn's going to want to mess with this key. I know it's going to be quick. Is there anything we could do to help her prepare? I know she needs at least a day. Or is there anything can be done to help us prepare for things? Do we need any food? Is there anything that we need to do while we're in this cave?
Well, I would suggest we forage. I don't know any of the herbs or plants of the area. More likely to kill us than anything else.
I don't know if I can leave the cave. I think Junie said that the wards Saelwyn put up would be for protection of those of us with the collars. I still have mine on. But I'm not sure if there's anything I can do around here to help out at all.
Not that
You
I can think
see
of.
the little mouse poke their head out from the armory. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Just place your hand on it; it should open back up.
Will we be all right to go outside with collars on?
Debatable.
All right. Is there enough food in here to keep us going for the day or two that Sailwyn's going to need?
Yeah, I have plenty of food.
All right. I guess last question. I'm not great with idle time, so is there anything I can do to not just sit around?
Well, whatever you like, I suppose.
Yeah, like the metal, like the extra metal.
Right. Okay. Well, I got armor, I got a shield, I got whatever these clothes are that I think somewhat fit. I'm gonna go check on the dog, and I guess I'm gonna walk out, check on the dog, don't do anything. So
Let me go wake up. Let me go wake up the sleeping princess, and then once Junie finds the map, we can go over plans of taking that keep and getting our friends out. I'll spar with you in the meantime.
all right.
And then Xanth is going to go walk, see Cornelius, take their head. Xanth is going to reach down and grab the edge of his bedroll and flip it.
Cornelius, there is now cold stone underneath you.
My errands, these hairy bollocks! What the hell? Ugh. Oh, good. Whatever time it is, Xanth.
Morning. It's time to get up. Rise and shine.
Is it time to go save my people?
It's time to arm yourself, figure out the battle plan, and prep to get these colors off, which are going to be at least another 18 hours. So, eat, prep, rest. And plot.
18 hours.
Aye, Selwyn's out cold.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Aye.
Right. Right. Cornelius will get up, go over to where he tossed the armor he picked out the night before, start putting it on.
Xanth just kind of leans up against the tent.
Any
And it's
plan
just,
in the meantime?
the plan is to gather everyone back up, go over the map, and come up with a battle strategy.
Ah, good, good.
I
We
should
just-
be able to make somewhat of a map of at least the areas that we were in. It won't be perfect, but somewhat of a battle plan.
CC, clarification question. Does the color like affect feats that aren't martially related?
Yep.
So I can't remember shit because I have the keen mind
Yep.
feat.
Your mind is a little foggier than it normally is.
Ugh. Well, I try to help with that, but I don't know. Something's been going on with my memory recently. Ever since I woke up, it feels like I can't remember anything.
Hey, it's the color. And Xanth will flick the front of it.
Ah, yes. Well, as I continue to get ready, he'll look at you. Are you just going to stand there the entire time it takes me to pull on this armor? You know it takes like a good 15 minutes.
Are you seriously going to take 50? Stand up. You've always been fucking useless with this, Cornelius. And Xanth's going to start tugging at it because it shouldn't take 15 minutes. It should take 10.
I thought it's 10. I thought it's 10 with help.
No, it's 5
No, it's
with
5 with the help.
Oh,
Cornelius is not in keen mind mode. He doesn't know how long time takes now.
yeah.
To be fair,
Not
he
only-
always has a squire to help, so he doesn't know what the fuck's going on anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so him taking 15 minutes totally in character. So Xanth is insulting him while helping him with the strap.
Careful with that. This isn't my normal fitted armor. It's a bit tight around the chest.
I'll survive. Suck it in. And she's going to treat it like a corset.
It doesn't need to be that tight. Everyone in the party just hears the abuse that's going on in Cornelius' tent.
Which
Xanth is
after what happened to the dog, I don't think anybody's gonna save anyone.
Hey, I have no problem with the dog. That's all Dalton.
I'm gonna have to explain this to everybody. I was not saying I wanted to kill the dog. I'm saying why bother saving something that's going to get in the way.
It's a dog. It's a dog, and y'all I think you'll find out later why Cornelius likes dogs so much.
That being said, but after Xanth gets you all situated, all right, you pampered princess, come on.
Princess, I'm nowhere near the royal line. Not anymore.
You weren't that close to begin with anyway. Come on.
And as Cornelius walks out with you, well, you do remember where? Wait, do you remember? How do you know what line I was in?
Xanth doesn't respond.
Did we meet before all this?
You always were a dense one. You'll figure it out eventually. And Xanth is just walking towards the rest of the campfire.
My lack of keen mind is really negatively affecting my memory.
Hey, you know what? Roll perception as Xanth's gonna start playing with her necklace.
Should I roll this at disadvantage or advantage?
That's
or
up
just
to
normal?
Cece.
Just
What do you
normal.
think, Cece? Normal roll? I said normal, right? Okay. And a perfect 10. It could go either way. Well, they're currently playing with the necklace in front of me, drawing attention to it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that give me advantage then if
Nope.
they're literally drawing attention to it?
It's just
No,
using DC.
What do you think, Cece?
It's not hard. I wouldn't say more than 10. You're not hiding it.
Yeah, okay.
But-
Cornelius, you know what it is.
Wait. The gear, you can visibly see the gears just turning in his head.
Bella,
The
you
hand-
smell you smell something burning. As Cornelius thinks.
I don't think
The hand-
Bella would say anything. Bella's probably just petting the dog.
The hamster is running real hard.
But Xanth hasn't stopped moving, so I'd say we're probably at the fire at this point.
I mean, it's not a long walk. You walk out of the tent, and there it is. Not that big
Yeah.
of a room.
Yeah, we'll both get to the fire, and I'm still thinking. I'll come up with the answer later at a comedic time.
But as y'all are regathering, y'all see little Judy rushing across the cavern floor towards a large table off to the side, a little ways away from the fire, in which she crawls up the side of it with a large scroll over her back, one-handed, scampers up, jumps on top of the table, and then starts unscrolling the scroll. As you'll see, it looks to be a large map.
Xanth is gonna lean over it.
This is the map in which you'll see we should be right about here. They say as they point to the northwestern quadrant, up in the Iron Spurs. Y'all's current position marker is the Lost Mover.
I'll find it eventually.
Top left.
There we go.
Where was
Cornelius
the
mentioned-
keep we were at?
Where is the dog on the map?
Top left.
Top
Very
left.
top left. The little
Oh,
brown
okay,
area.
I see. I didn't zoom out enough.
Oh, it's in that same area y'all are in. Each hex is going to be worth 10 miles. Give or take a little bit.
Hell of a distance anyway.
And I guess, does Junie know where we came from? Like, is she able to point it out at all? Or
What do you mean where you came from? The keep?
that's, yeah, Bella asked her if she knows where the keep
The
was that
same
we came
hex.
from. It's still in the same exact square that we're in.
Mhm.
It just doesn't have a marker.
Because it's about a 10-mile radius, so it's somewhere in there. For a world map like this, it's not going to be all that far. Y'all didn't go all that far.
It makes sense. Alrighty.
But we're up here in the Iron Spurs, just north of the hinterlands. We got Duskwood, a couple days travel out. That's a little bit more than a couple days getting down from the mountains, but that's what happens when you're out this far.
I
There
Go ahead, Bella.
Nope. Go.
I was just saying
Do we have any allies in here to go back and fight that keep, or is it just going to be us?
Everyone else is dead. At least that's
Oh,
what my assumption
sounds
is,
about right.
based on what you said. The rest of the group that came with
Oh.
us, well, if they didn't come back with Saelwyn, they probably got taken out. And based on the condition you were in, well, that's even less surprising.
Xanth is going to give a description of the bodies that we found in that one room.
Yeah, that'd be them.
Specifically face. Okay. Like, not the gruesome details, just the,
Physical description.
height. Yeah, height. Wouldn't have eye color, but. So we're on our own.
We're a long way from any help.
Okay.
That's what happens when you go rift hunting. You end up in weird places.
What exactly is rift hunting? I feel like you mentioned that before.
Well, you go out looking for one of the rifts. It's not like going after the dungeons, but it's a little less stable. But you can find almost anything in them.
A little more clarification on what the hell is a rift.
Yeah, what is it? And where is the nearest one?
Well, that depends. You have to go find them. They usually show up almost anywhere, but they have a habit of collecting near the Vale. If you can find them, you can go into whatever strange place they end up being.
Can we get home?
Maybe? I don't know. Nobody's entirely sure where the rifts lead.
And yet they all led to this area.
What? What do you mean? No, they could be anywhere.
There's no way to predict when they might show up,
No,
or maybe force one to open.
definitely not as far as I know. There's some
So
detection services all the way back in Vale Court, but we are a long way from there.
if you go into a rift and can you come back out? And I mean, how did I get abducted? They must have went in and got me out,
Well, I don't know.
right?
Where are you from?
Baldur's Gate.
What's a Baldur's Gate?
It's a city.
City near the Sword Coast.
Well, I've never heard of either of those places.
Right.
In
And we've
Faerun?
never this place. But we were abducted and brought here, so there must be a way for us to get back.
But I asked just something about not getting home because I think that well, that's something we all want to do. I think that maybe we should kind of just pinpoint focus on one thing. There's some people we know are alive back behind in the keep there that we need to have our primary focus to go get back. So, my question is, looking at this map, it's pretty big. After we go there and hopefully murder every single one of those cultists and enjoy every moment of it, do you know any of these places around here where we would find allies versus enemies?
Well, that depends on what you're trying to do. If you're looking for
Hopefully
civilized
meet
company,
people
any
that
of the
don't want to kill
cities.
us.
If you go to any of the cities, people are usually pretty relaxed. Ow! Don't bite me. If you go to any of the cities,
I
they're
don't.
usually not particularly violent against people. Though if I understand what you're saying, you're probably Riftborn, right?
Saelwyn used that same
Well, I
wording.
mean, yeah, we came from a different world. We're here, so that was what Selwyn said we were. So I guess what I'm asking is, how do we find people like you and Selwyn who evidently don't think that whoever comes out of that place needs to be collared and tortured and possibly killed? It's kind of what I'm looking for, because I assume when we're done with the keep, we can't come live in these mountains in a locked wall forever. to move forward. We got to figure something out. So, do you and Saelwyn have people anywhere that you work with that think the same way you do, that we don't need to be collared and killed?
Well, let me think on that. Give me just a moment. As the DM needs to make sure I
No
have the
rush.
right notes and don't say the wrong thing.
That's fine. And I guess also kind of, and Bella would, while Junie's thinking, look at the others and say, look, I don't think that anyone has the ability just to open one of these things and shoot us back through till you weren't with us. But we ended up in this weird place before we got here, a white, cloudy room. We're all from different places, and we all just kind of got pulled here. So probably something a bit bigger than just a quick jump back, if you will. And I just think when we're done here, we're going to need to move, because I don't think taking out just the people in this keep is going to be enough to keep us going, and being able to get in a place where perhaps there's food and a place we can have some shelter to maybe start figuring out more of what's going on and what we can do is our best bet. But I don't want to end up going to just any old city or any place where we get in the exact same situation. I love a fight as much as the next person, but I think if we can maybe find somewhere where Selwyn and Judy will be safe and the loud ones, employees or friends, I don't really know what they are to you. It sounds like they just help you wipe your ass or something. Um, maybe treat them better. But my thought is maybe we could go somewhere and start small and figure out more of what's going on as time goes on.
Well, moving up aside that comment about me not being able to wipe my own ass, which is quite frankly false. Once we kill
I'm real
with
proud of
an
you that you
extreme,
can wipe your ass.
Hmm?
I'm proud you can wipe your own ass. That's big boy stuff. I'm real proud of you there.
Yes. Once we kill with extreme prejudice every single one of those, I'm assuming, cultists, why don't we just take over the castle as our starting base and work our way out from there? They obviously have supplies to feed a large amount of people. They have a pretty defensible position, with that being, from what I saw, well, pretty.
Right.
Because if
So
it's
do
not
you
all of
think that whole... Sorry, go ahead, Blue.
because if that's not all of them, and they find out we took one of their places, they're going to send a bigger force to go after us.
My thoughts
So
exactly, and I don't like agreeing with Dalton, but yeah, I think that that can't be all of them. This might just be one location of theirs. If they're a cult, probably plenty of followers, and we don't have enough people to man a whole entire fortress in the middle of the mountains with all this snow and the weather and land that we're not familiar with. I don't think that that is the place we want to stay, especially if they've already maybe alerted the others that they've found us, whatever they're trying to do with us. I think that trying to get somewhere different might be a better option in this place. It'd be nice to have a castle or a keep we can make our own, but I don't think we're here to conquer. I think we're here to survive and get home, right?
I mean, at the very least, would like to fucking find my. I would like to find my friend. She's not
I'm
dead.
I'm just saying, it stands to reason that the people who actually brought us here would probably have records of how they did that, which would make it easier for us to find a way to get home, would it not?
I mean, if
Uh,
we can get strong
you,
enough to find someone that can cast a plane shift spell, that'd work.
What's the plane shift spell?
Oh
it's the
fuck!
ability to go. It's an ability to go in between different sections of reality using magic.
So, like going through the rifts?
No, it doesn't. No, well, kinda. It kind of. It's only just for like a small area, though. It's not like a portal from the way you're describing it.
I guess,
Plus, it's also kind of
Junie,
random whether it works or not.
What was that, Bella?
let's just say, Junie, is Cornelius right? Did they bring us here? Is that what happened? Someone here just randomly says, I'm going to suck people in from another world and possible plane of existence into this area? Or is this like a random, it just happens and there's no control over it?
Most of the time, when the Riftborns are born, they come from the mists. It's believed that they are children of the mists, pulled from other places and made into something new to help Avalon through the troubling times ahead. Nothing ever good happens when a Riftborn arrives. Something will always change.
Yes, but do they typically come in
Oh.
groups of 5, all standing together on a platform, which they are then, beaten over the head and collared?
There's 6 of us.
Yeah, I think you might need to check your math on that.
Well, I didn't arrive with you. I arrived differently.
You
I
did
was
arrive
there
in the
I,
for.
same
I
place.
guess what I'm
It's in the same
I
event.
was.
Apologies. This damn collar it's giving my mind some sort of fugue state.
That's okay. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that those cultists opened the rift to bring us here. Maybe once we were inside of there, they somehow used that horrifying ritual room that terrified Saelwyn and Varen and did the sacrifice to get us to them. But I'm not a magic person. I don't know much about it. I know how to fight and I know how to kill shit and I'm pretty good at it. What I'm saying is I don't think that they were the ones who brought us to this world or place wherever we are. I think that maybe somehow they got us to them. And so I don't think I just don't think that keep is maintainable for our few of numbers. And I think that there's probably more people who think like them. And I have a feeling that we're gone from there right now. They had that powerful wizard dude or whatever he was, and they had that horrible woman who seemed to really just be way too excited to torture people. So I think that trying to take over a whole entire keep, having been in the military, that's a large place, and we don't have the numbers to maintain it. I think that we'd be better off getting the hell out of Dodge, as they say, and trying to get somewhere where we can get everybody healed up who's been tortured, hopefully help them, and hopefully meet some like minded people that we could work with that don't want to kill us just because we appeared out of nowhere for whatever reason. Maybe there's somewhere that has more records about what's going on that isn't from the cultist view that we murder people to make this happen. I don't know if Zan, the Baron, or even Father Dalton understands the magic of that, but I've always been under the impression that if you're doing some weird blood sacrifices, typically you're messing with powers that most people don't want involved with. And I don't think that we want involved with that. And I can just tell you from a size standpoint, we can't maintain that keep. We'll starve and die, or it will fall apart long before we do that. And if we're this far away from the nearest settlement or city or village, I don't think we've got the best thing of survivability here. And I don't really want to stay there and then come back with an all on assault and try and defend ourselves. And we still have to figure out who even made that giant thing of mist appear. I don't know how that works, but we got cover from nowhere. Someone just appeared and didn't even appear. Somehow we just got covered in a fog so we could get out without them killing us. And I think that maybe we could find something like that somewhere different. That's all.
As much as I usually would like to disagree with people who threaten me, the Amazonian is right.
Well, I wasn't saying
I'm
we
not an
stay
Amazonian,
there
you
indefinitely.
dipshit.
I was saying we use it as a staging point to travel deeper into this world. Gather up supplies, make a caravan, and then leave. I wouldn't say stay there.
Oh yeah,
Lab
give me a
wasn't
ransack in the place. Let's do it.
One
We need
second.
to.
1 second. There are too many people talking. Awk.
I should say Bella just wants to have Cornelius walk over and just like lean his head close to this massive map and just be like, I don't know if you wear like glasses or something to help you see. Do you see how big this world is? We're assuming they said that each of these little sections is around 10 miles through them. Do you see how far away we are just from the nearest settlement? I get that if we want to try and grab some stuff to make a path, warm up stuff, make sure Selwyn's safe, the dog's safe, make sure that we know that our pastors, like Father Dalton and uh, Darren, no offense, you two don't really seem like you're up close fighters. So, and Junie, you're very tiny. I'm sure you're very capable, but I don't know if you're great in like a fist fight. So my thought is, if we get some stuff to get out of here and get them protected, we get somewhere different. But no matter where we try to go, we're going to be traveling for a long time, and I don't know if we can stay there very long because it's not exactly going to just be a day to get somewhere at least, unless
But
it's a day we push.
we don't we don't know what we're going to find in that keep once we once we eradicate the threat. We might be able to rescue the people and go back home without having to leave that keep.
I can almost guarantee you that won't be the case. No
Why?
Riftborn has ever made it back, as far as I know. Riftborns either die or go into the mist.
What's the mist?
The mist, the veil, the edge of Avalon.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure we all saw something similar when we got abducted from our homes.
I mean, what did you see?
Can I have my
well, I saw a very disturbing little girl on my way back from destroying a goblin encampment, and then some massive cloud of mist started forming around me.
All right.
Let's not discount the big empty space we're all in, except for Ciel. I remember most of you. We're all together there.
All right. Father Grolton, what happened when you were abducted?
Remember correctly, I think I was in some tavern doing some fortune readings for people. I was talking to some crazy witch lady. She disappeared. Then suddenly the place exploded with a horde of zombies, and I ended up in that misty place.
Bella, yourself?
You know, it was just a normal day. I got done with the fight in the arena, and then I went to have a drink. Yep, we were having a drink together, and an all-out brawl broke out. And next thing I know, I can't remember if I got hit or what happened, but I woke up in the clouded area with everyone. No special person showed up or anything. Just a bunch of people broke in. We got in a fight. That's what happened.
Varen?
I was helping a fleeing soldier before almost getting run down by the people chasing him. Her, actually.
Does anyone else notice a pattern here?
What, that we all had near-death experiences?
Well, I don't know about near death for my case.
Was it near death or did we actually die? I'm gonna look at Junie
Oh.
when I say that.
As far as we know, the Riftborn are, well, born into this world in a way. But I'm not all that, well, educated on it. It'd be better asked to ask Selwyn when she's awake again. But I only know a little, and it's been hundreds of years since the last Riftborn was moving.
like them?
So, assuming unless the Riftborns were elves or dwarves, we're probably not going to get any information from them either, if they are still alive.
They went into the mists hundreds of years ago.
That's fantastic.
I'm
So
sure there's gotta be some sort of written record somewhere.
Of course. Well, either the church is going to have it, or the Mistwardens.
A church, you say?
The Church of the Eternal Veil. Mm-hmm. They'll already know you're here as well.
Huh.
The High
This place has
Oracle would have heard of your arrival, and the Mistwardens would be dispatched to bring you in.
Well, the Mistwarden's what we just fought and nearly got killed by.
No. You wouldn't be standing if it wasn't the Mistwardens.
If it was or wasn't,
If it was the Mistwardens. I apologize.
Okay.
Shenanigans are encouraged.
Alright.
Oh, sorry. One more question. What is the Mistborn? What does that mean? Like, what is this mist stuff that you're talking about?
The Riftborn or the Mist?
Didn't you say we wouldn't survive if it was a Mistborn?
The Mist Wardens. Those that help keep the
Mist
kingdom
Warden.
safe.
All right.
They work directly for the
What
queen.
is a mist?
Queen, you say?
Yes. I effectively think it's the queen's military.
Hmm.
They keep things in
Why do
check
they
and
kill
things from getting out.
Riftborns?
They don't kill Riftborns. They bring them in. Riftborns are by far the most dangerous things that have
They
ever
can
walked
run,
this
but
land.
they cannot hide.
Why is that?
Because whenever they arrived, things are liable to change, good or bad. They can be tyrants, villains, and the worst kind of people. Or they could be great heroes, ones that lead us to greater heights. But when they first arrive, no one knows. So they're an unknown that needs to be checked.
Interesting.
Joyful.
Huh. So I guess we're all great heroes then.
I think you fall under the first option, Dalton.
What do you mean?
I have
What do you
one
mean? I'm
question.
not evil.
You wanted to leave a dog to die. I consider that evil.
That's natural selection, not.
Hey, yo.
Never mind.
Answers.
What was that, Bella?
As I said, we can fight about all that a little bit later on, but my question is, you said that the Queen has these super soldier things, and they always know when Riftborns show up. If we're Riftborns, they would know we're here, right?
They'd have an idea that you'd arrived, but they'd be leaving from Valecourt. It would take days,
So
perhaps
they'd be
weeks before
looking
they
for
get up
us.
here. Oh,
So they would be coming this way.
they definitely will. They won't
And
know
are you
exactly where you
saying
are, but you'll stand out. They'll find you eventually.
do we want to meet them now, or do we want to not meet them now? Is my question. Do we want to sit down and try and talk with them, or is this going to be another collar on your neck, you're in a prison cell till we decide what we're going to do with you?
Well, let's put it this way. Riftborns are the most dangerous creatures in the world, but it's better to make allies of them if possible. They won't treat you badly unless you force their hand. Because
And
I
they'd
still
rather
don't
have you
get
on their side.
why. Still don't get why we're all this powerful stuff. Like, what is it different about us that makes things so different here? I don't get that.
As I understand it, I don't really know. But every time a Riftborn arrives, the world changes. The status quo is interrupted. Thousands upon thousands will die either way.
In my experience, any noble family absolutely despises change. Status quos and such. They don't like changing to that.
When
Pathetic.
when you say every time the Riftborn arrive, how often do Riftborn arrive here?
Infrequently, but every time they arrive, there's almost always legends.
But there's been more than one occasion in your lifetime.
Not in my lifetime. It's been hundreds of years since the last one.
So it's like a rare occurrence, but it changes everything.
Yes, complete upheaval. The destructions of mountains, new land formations made, new lakes, kingdoms fell, cities burned, new ones built. Everything changes. Even if the Riftborn try to keep quiet, they never seem to be able to. They can't lead normal lives.
so we can't just abscond with a cart after we rescue the people in the fort and try and fly under the radars don't exist.
You
Fly
can.
under the curtains.
You
We
can.
could.
But I promise you, the church will come and find you, and even if you do make a deal with the church and you just try to stay quiet, trouble will brew around you, whether it's from us or from other things.
Us.
Us, and those that live in Haviland.
I thought you were
Pretty. I so much enjoyed dealing with the Fates, as Zant says with heavy sarcasm.
All right. So to make sure that I'm following a bit, we got the Queen and her Myth Gods, and they typically like to be good with Riftborn as long as they're not tyrants and killers. The Church, we don't really know where they land on things. They could be like the cultists, could not be. Any other groups that we should know about? We got the Royals, we got the Church. Anybody else out there?
The church
What
is
can you
big
tell us?
interest?
directly working with the Queen. They're one of the individuals that help prop up the monarchy.
What can you tell us about the cult?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know what cult it is. You'd have to ask Saelwyn.
How well do you know these mountains?
Not particularly well. We're close to the Vale, so not too many people are out here.
So you wouldn't know whether or not that there are more forts like this out here.
I couldn't be certain. The fort might have come from a rift, or perhaps it is an ancient
Beard or no beard,
keep that was
Dave?
put up here at a long time, far before the Vale started.
Should I find that beard or no?
But another group that you're going to have to watch out for is the Arcane Assembly. The Arcanist Prime is brilliant, but a little ambitious. They tend to be good people, and the best way to advance magical knowledge here in Avalon, but everybody has their own ambitions, so I don't know how they're going to react. Then you'll have the court under the Queen. The common folk will be terrified. You'll have the relic hunters, and most likely the syndicate.
All right.
Relic
Just a
hunters.
quick question then.
Go ahead, Bella.
Oh no, go ahead with the relic hunters, then she'll
Yeah,
ask.
I was just curious. What are they, like bounty hunters or something?
The relic hunters tend to go into either the dungeons or the rifts in hopes of recovering supplies, money, magic, lost knowledge, any kind of things like that. We're the most specialized in it.
And that's what you and Saelwyn are.
Yes.
And your fallen comrades, of course. Apologies for them, by the way.
Yeah. It's the danger of hunting rifts. But if rifts are left unchecked, they have a habit of dumping things out into the world. Best to find them and handle them.
So why were you willing to help us?
Make friends with the Riftborn. And you look like you needed help. Help.
A noble sentiment.
I'm an ailer. It's my job to make sure that people get the healing they need. Whether they be good or bad, people need help.
All right. Jenny, what do you know about Duskwood?
Duskwood? It's a pretty quiet place.
Is it just a common village? Is there more to it? That's what I'm trying to kind of get an idea on.
Give me a moment while I get the notes so I don't stop fighting with me.
I will continue to fight with you as much as I need to.
Oh my god, computer is freaking out.
Ding ding.
Like,
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, it's most known for its hunters. They export furs, meats, and herbs, and their woodworkers are some of the best. They tend to stay
I like that.
in the forest and to themselves, but they're not near as reclusive as those from Mistfall.
In my experience, and I don't know, others might know about this who have traveled, traveling by water is often one of the fastest ways to get somewhere. So I'm thinking if we get through this keep and get on out of here, we could make a trip down to the river over here and we could probably ride it all the way down and hop this road and maybe pop in to Duskwood. And if it's something that doesn't have any large factions that lean one way or the other, maybe we could kind of get some other opinions or thoughts on things without announcing who we are or what we are. I'm not saying we go hide from the Queen or the church or any of those people. That's not what I'm meaning. I was just more thinking we could maybe get a little bit of stuff figured out, and then from there, if the decision is to start working our way in towards the capital of kingdom or whatever it was, the Vale Court thing, we can do that by road, whatever we need to do. But that would be my thought, that it might be a little bit faster if we can make it by river, avoid some of the woods and getting lost and stuff like that.
You have a boat?
That's my recommendation. I believe that we might be able to figure out something in a way, or we can make it by foot. But I think a lot of times we literally have a pirate queen with us. She might be able to make something up.
Pirate Queen.
Junie, when you say we will stand out, what do you mean?
You're Riftborn.
Like there's no other people that look like us here?
Well, you look like them, yes, but you're different cultures, different identities, different histories. That, and I'm pretty sure the church has a way of hunting you.
They must have a way of tracking people who come through the veil.
Not come through the veil, just specifically Riftborn. But I don't think you'd be able to hide from the church for long. You might be able for a little while, but they will find you.
I
Do you
don't
have a
believe.
list of your guys' deities?
We just have the mist.
You're monotheistic.
I don't think we have an intention to hide from the church. I was more just thinking, from what it looks like, Duskwood is our closest place that we could maybe stop in for any type of supplies we might not be able to find from the keep. And if we're able to do that, it'd be easy to go on from there. If the church can track us and they got to make it all the way up from Vale Court, they're going to be a bit, right? So, and based off the way it looks that this river runs, this river's running away from there, so they'd have to go upstream if they wanted to go by river. They're going to be on foot the whole time, probably with a large group. So my only thought was that might be a place to stop in on our way if we're going to go meet the church, whatever we're going to do. I'm not saying hide or run. That's not really my plan of where I like to do things, but I'm also assuming that this keep we're about to go destroy will have wagons or something that we might be able to use to kind of help the injured not overdo it or things like that, or carry supplies with us.
If I had to guess, the wardens will be in Duskwood within 4 or 5 days. Maybe 3. So they'll be in Duskwood long before we're able to get there.
Well, Judy, I'm gonna be honest with you. You are not really the best person when it comes to people trying to come up with plans. You don't seem great about suggesting ideas, just sitting there telling people that nothing you come up with would work. So what do you suggest we do? Sit in this cave, sit here and pout about things? Do we go try and take back the keep? Do we go run out into the mist and just die? What are you suggesting here? Because you haven't really given us anything to work with besides anything we've offered. You've just kind of said, or questions we've asked, oh no, that would never work, or this is the problem.
Easy there,
So
Bella.
I
She's
don't know
trying to help.
what you're thinking.
My suggestion would go talk to the church. It may be better to
And
try
how
to
do we
rescue
get
your
to the
friends
church?
before that, but heading towards Valcourt would be your best move, meeting up with the wardens and having them bring you back. It
And
means
you
you'd be
think
willing
that
to work
on our
with
way
them.
to Valcourt, and you think on our way to Valcourt we'll have enough food and supplies and everything to make it from here all the way to that kingdom
We could hunt
without
along
making
the
a
way.
stop in another village?
There's some smaller village we can stop in, maybe get some supplies. Don't have them marked on this one, but they're out there. Duskwood would be the best target to try to get to. But after that, making our way down to Valecourt would probably be best. It'll be likely the Queen would want to talk to you. Get an idea of your measure.
You say these wardens are able to identify when a Mistborn arrives, so safe to say they knew we were here about the moment we stepped on that altar.
I don't know if the Mist Wardens do, but the Church most definitely does. And the Mist Warden
And-
will send out their group that's specialized in hunting Riftborn.
And how long would you say it would take them to reach this mountain?
If they take the path, then make their way up the river, a week and a half.
And how long have we? And tell us, how long have we been here? I know we were in that cell for an ungodly amount of time.
We weren't even in it for a day.
I still call that ungodly. But okay, so we were in there for a day. We have to wait according to
No, I think
Xanth. We have to wait 3 days for Saelwyn to be up and about.
That is not what I said.
I thought you said it was. They needed
No,
3
I
days.
said I said she wouldn't wake up for 18 hours, and that realistically, she should wait 3 days before she does something stupid. We don't have that kind of time.
That is true. I don't want to wait any
it's
longer
the
than I have to.
PP
Agrees,
command.
especially I'm still missing a companion, and if she came in with us, she's hurt. And she would have been hurt before we got here. Which brings me great concern, speaking that she had just blown herself up.
Especially after about 2 weeks of torture, I can imagine.
2
Hey,
weeks of torture.
Well, I don't
Wait.
imagine the cults are very nice to them,
But what makes you think 2 weeks?
because I lost
Really?
track of her and the team 2 weeks ago.
She's been there for 2 weeks.
I'd imagine. I was still getting reports during the week
Uh.
before that, when they were out looking for the rift that was forming. And then I lost contact 2 weeks ago.
What are the chances we were in that strange, misty soul realm type thing longer than a day?
realistically, from the sound of it, we could have been there for an entire lifetime.
Down with it.
And there is also another issue.
What's that?
Oh, good. Pile it up.
If this cult was indeed able to focus where you are arriving, instead of arriving separate like the Riftborn usually do, there's every chance they might have been able to somewhat hide your arrival. While they'll know you're here, they might not know where exactly in the Iron Spur you're in. It's a wide range, and we're a long way from Valecourt. If you stay in the mountains, it might be some time before they find us. But if you head into civilized society again, they'll definitely find you quickly.
I mean, if we want to find them quickly, I can summon a storm.
Well, what if we go back to what I was thinking? We give Saelwyn the time to sleep, and then she's going to be stubborn enough to get the colors off. Get our colors off. We go to the keep. We murder all the cultists. We get ourselves packed up, and then we start heading over to Duskwood, right? Because the assumption is if we're around there, we should be able to hopefully meet them. Will they start being able to find us once we're out of the mountains? Or can they track us after that? I don't know how that works. Or can they only track us by where we came in at?
I'm not certain. I'm not specialized in that kind of thing. I go after rifts. Rifts put out a certain kind of energy, so it's reasonable that you give a similar one, maybe? And as I said, it's more of a Saelwyn thing. But once we start getting closer to the roads, it's more likely they'll be able to find you. But I don't know how accurate it'll be.
Sounds like we need to hold the rift questions till at least Saelwyn's awakening.
We might want to not overwhelm her. I was just thinking if we can make our way, evidently we're going to have to go to the Vale Court. Hopefully we'll run into the people on the way there. But it sounds like if we don't go by there, we're just going to end up with more problems than we already have. So if we can get to the keep, murder everything in sight, hopefully we can make sure that Cornelius is whatever they are, Xanth's friends. Did anybody else have anyone who appeared in here with them?
I did not.
Also, slight problem. I don't know if she came with. Now, it's Abby, so she's going to be a stubborn motherfucker. So, her not following me somewhere is. To be quite honest, it would take a fucking deity to keep her away from following me. So,
I also have people that will be searching for me.
Also, like my companions weren't even with me when I got sucked in, so I'm not even sure how they. So if they're here, your companion is probably here.
wait a minute. What do you mean they weren't with you?
They were back at my camp.
Surprised you wandered that far away from them.
Well, I'm not going to bring a caretaker, a shadow, and well, my squire could have came with, but she was tired. Into a goblin infested camp.
Racist an eyebrow. She didn't want to pick a fight. I find that hard to believe.
I believe she tied one on a little too hard the night before. I'm not sure what happened there.
Sam does not look like she believes you.
I do have a question.
Darren,
Yes.
What are you wanting to do? Most likely you'll be here in this world for a while. Are you going to be looking for work?
Is there work available for a knight of Ares?
I don't know what an Ares is, but
God of War.
well, it's unlikely you'll be able to join the Mist Wardens. But a good fighter and somebody who's good on their feet would always be welcome at the Relic Hunters.
I can hold myself in a scrap.
Alright. So, Bella, I agree with you. Basically, let's try and take the keep after Saelwyn wakes up and gets the collars off. And then go meet up with whoever the fuck these people are. Go
it
from
seems
there.
the path of least resistance. Junior Saelwyn thinks that there's a way down that we can get some supplies and stuff on there. I don't know how wounded or messed up we're going to be. I don't know what level of hunting prowess we have while we're out and about. I can do some hunting, but need more than just meat to survive. How long of a trip it would be to get to the Vale Court. But from what I'm understanding, it might be best just to go get that out of the way to make sure that we're not making enemies of people thinking that we're up to being tyrants, because it sounds like they like to kill those ones real quick. And I'm not trying to die. I don't think I brought anyone in with me, but I do have a person behind that he might be probably looking for me, and I don't think that he is the one that anyone wants brought into this world, because while I might love him, he is a handful, and then some for everyone involved.
Fair enough.
Well, if you do make enemies of the Crown, I suppose there's always the Syndicate. I wouldn't suggest it. It's really not a good idea, but you'll be able to find
It
sounds
enemies
like-
wherever you go.
I'm going to assume that your syndicate is basically the Thieves Guild.
They're more than thieves. Thieves, assassins, bandits.
Aye,
All kinds
Thieves
of
Guild.
things. And they usually clash with the Relic Hunters quite a lot.
Yep, nope, that is most 100% the same equivalent.
What can you tell me about this about the main religion of this land?
Well, what do you want to know?
Oh, if I can ask, is there like a head church or something, or
Do you mean the head of the church?
potato? Is there like a main religious organization, and or who is like the? Is there like a main head of the religion?
Is there a pope?
Yes. You'll have the High Oracle.
An oracle.
They'll be the ones that knew you arrived.
So they know we're here, but they can't track us.
Oh, I don't know. I don't belong to the church.
A shitty oracle. Well, all right, thanks for the information.
Nobody's even entirely sure who the Oracle is currently. But they usually refer to the Riftborns as emissaries or usurpers. So they'll definitely be interested.
Okay. I want to be an emissary, not a usurper.
And then it's best to seek them out. Make friends before you make enemies of them.
Before we jump too far ahead in planning for the future, since I kind of have to focus one goal at a time, that's probably the soldier in me. I just want to know, I know that Xanth has someone who could be here with them, folks looking for them. The loud one has 3, I think. They're in Dalton. Would anyone have come through with you? Would anyone be possibly here with you or trying to get here? Or someone they could bring in? I think it's good if we keep a list of those we might need to help, might around us, you know?
I can only think of the soldier I was trying to patch up before I got drawn here, and I honestly think he's probably dead. I didn't get very far, and I don't trust them to save a person's life.
And unless somehow they ended up at a different place, right? I mean, that wouldn't make them Riftborn, though. That's the thing I don't get. I guess it's kind of throwing me a bit. If we're with Riftborns, does that mean that the people with the loud one are also Riftborns, or did they just kind of get brought in with them?
The big one has a point.
I imagine they're Riftborn too, which makes their capture even more dubious.
Okay, so Father Dalton, you got anyone who might be with you? Might have appeared around you?
No, not really. I usually travel by myself. It's usually easier that way to get out of town, so you don't have to worry about other people holding you back. And or the last
Can be
partner
different when you think about it.
and also the last partner I had was executed for heresy, so it's kind of a better idea not to travel in pairs.
You are just a ray of sunshine, Father Dalton.
Why, thank you very much, sir.
All right. Well, I wasn't around Duke when all this happened, so I doubt that he's around. I'm gonna be quite unhappy whenever I get out of here. But okay. Well then, what do we all suggest to do? I know that I'm a big fan of focus on now and kind of get through. Do we want to try and plan how we're gonna go back to this keep? I only saw the one way in, and that was over that bridge.
Well, we can't do anything with these colors so long, so
That doesn't. We can plan, and Dan's gonna put a very rudimentary sketch of where we were in the keep and roughly where we suspect our companions to be. CC, if you need, I can roll cartographer's tools.
Yeah, dexterity.
Dex, alrighty.
And I think while you're doing that as well, Bella would ask, right, so I guess also if we could think while you're sketching that, maybe we can make a little legend on the side of who's in there that we want to save. And there was the tiefling woman, right? The red woman with the chains, who we know is the problem, but they warned us that the old wizard looking guy would be the real problem to fight. Was there anyone else we were told about at all?
Apparently, I didn't switch that to public quick enough.
Yeah, I saw it. It's a decent map. It's a little rough. You don't have measurements
It's a
because you got
secret.
dropped you had a blizzard dropped on your head, so keeping track of all that's a little hard. But
And Bella did ask that because I honestly don't remember if there were any other things that we were supposed to worry about in there. And I know some of these would have to probably be Saelwyn questions also for having been, but if anyone remembered anything that I obviously I don't remember
only-
everything because I'm not a genius.
the only ones that y'all are aware of that were inside was the rest of Saelwyn's team, according to your little mouse friend here, Junie. That team has been completely slaughtered. So Juniper and Saelwyn are the only remaining members of that team. Xanth has their companion who may or may not be in the area. Mirabelle has her companion who may or may not be in the area. CL, I think you said you had somebody moving about that might be around?
No. I meant looking for me back in Baldur's Gate, not here. I was,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
CL
meant it.
shouldn't. Dalton
yeah, I
should.
definitely do not.
Varen, I don't think did, and then Cornelius had 3 y'all saw captured alongside y'all. And then
That's
Varen
my
has the
squire.
individual that was next to them that was injured, who knows who they are or what's happened to them.
They were pretty mortally injured. They are probably dead. Pretty sure you said they had like a few dozen arrows sticking out of them.
Oh, they did. But you're in another world now. Who knows what magic did on the way here?
Good point.
Yeah.
Oh, if you need
Especially
So
a
we
since
know
it's on-
100.
What was that, Bella?
Go ahead.
No, what was that, Bella?
I was just making sure for my notes. We know 100% sure there are a minimum of 3 in there. The Cornelius 3. There could be 1 from Bella, 1 from Xanth, and 1 from Baron. So we know 3 minimum, up to 6 at this keep alone. We should look out for. And then bad guy wise, like big bads. Not that we're not going to run into cultists everywhere. Those really freaking fast dudes with poison blades. But there was a tiefling lady and the old guy that I just keep calling a wizard, although I don't know what he is. They warned us about fighting.
Just so you don't get confused about the tiefling, my squire is a tiefling as well. If you need the names, it's the squire is Zara Starborn. My caretaker is the elf Talia Fenbrook. And
We have them in the
oh,
I was just thinking we have them in the thing. Cece put their pictures up
Mhm.
for that. What I was meaning when I say the tiefling, I was talking the mean lady in chains who was really excited to torture people. We never caught her name, and I don't think we caught like the wizard's information at all. I don't even know if he's a wizard, like above table, but I know at least we're able to see, like we can see Saelwyn and Junie and the boofer, and then Zara and Talia and Sable, like in the character list. I was just trying to get an idea
The numbers.
of layout for everyone to have a thought of what all we know. We've got at least 2 big bads. The tiefling I'm talking about was, I think she was a tiefling red lady who wore chains for whatever reason, I guess for designer choices, right? Was what Bella was kind of thinking on that.
Anyway,
That way we know who to fight and who to rescue.
and who the
Guess her other
brutal Moida.
Unfortunately,
Yes, the
when
other-
the tiefling and the wizard type guy were there, Saelwyn had not managed to get past her collar to break the translator for Xanth.
Yeah.
So no one's entirely sure what was being said. Saelwyn might, because she speaks the language, but Saelwyn's still out of commission.
Okay. And then I guess I don't know how to say this in Bella's voice, but I guess the idea she's trying to express is, are we doing like the old school military, like clear floor by floor? Because we know some were down below being tortured, but then when we went to leave, there was at least 1 up above a floor like we hadn't even gone up to that was fighting, right? So they could now be kind of spread out throughout the keep as well.
Last y'all saw, Talia, you think, was in the dungeons being tortured. Zyra was in the courtyard being held captive. Wait, no. No, she wasn't. No.
He was fighting the warden,
No, that's Sable.
Yeah, Sable was
a
fighting.
Sable.
Um,
So we did see Zyra.
yeah, y'all never saw Zyra, so y'all aren't entirely sure where she is. But y'all did see Sable active on the higher floor fighting with the woman with chains.
Yeah. Xanth's gonna have a thought. Did any of your companions know magic besides Saelwyn?
No few?
Xanth's going to describe what happened on how we escaped, and if that sounds like anyone possible that anyone from her end, or we looking for other people that might need rescuing that we don't even know.
She doesn't. However, Cornelius, you do recognize it. You've
Wait.
seen Sable do things like that.
You say-
She can get a hold of gear like that. She has made smoke bombs like that in the past for escapes.
You say the whole courtyard was encased in smoke?
Hey,
Oh, why didn't you say so? That was Sable.
all right. That makes life easier in the fact that we're not looking for extra bodies. So,
Hmm?
I'm just
Heck.
having fun watching Bella sass.
same.
Well, I am sorry I didn't hear that big one.
Okay, well, maybe if you both quieter.
If you listen, if you listen to other people talking, you hear it. I almost tried to go into Xanth's accent there, so sorry about that. Yeah. Is there, I guess, since Xanth has the ability to, I know it's cartographers and stuff, but since Xanth seems somewhat able to draw things, like maybe write this out, or does anybody have any like drawing talents at all? Like, I don't know, Baron, you're a medical person, so is Xanth, do you know any drawing skills or anything like that?
A little.
All right. How likely do you think with the keep? I know you've given us kind of the overview. How likely do you think we're able to go through our memories and try and get a better layout when Saelwyn wakes up as well of the passageways that we do or don't know? Because one thing, I don't know how we get to it, but
No,
Mhm.
Xanth has drawn out the map with all the pathways. I rolled an 18 on cartographer's tools. You have
oh,
a map.
okay. So we didn't. Oh, okay,
doesn't-
we didn't see it. So it includes the secret passageways that we found, is where Bella was going to go with
Yes,
it, like the
it's
secret
not.
tunnels and stuff.
Yeah, put it this way: it's not necessarily to scale, due to the fact that there was a lot of shit going on, but there is a basic of like how many doors and the wall that got exploded.
The
Okay.
bridge?
The Brit, yeah. All of those
The
things,
whole
they're
entire like 3D rendering, basically, that we're looking at almost, if that makes sense.
pretty much. So basically, where we were at, Xanth has basically, while everyone's been talking, has been drawing this map.
Nice.
I think that's the
So-
point at the bridge. Was this the only way to get in and out that you guys could see? I was knocked out at this point.
Hey, it is. Whistle.
Interesting.
Somebody opened the door. I don't know if it was Seal or someone opened like the gate, and it opened to the bridge, the big cavern underneath that leads into the mountain.
It wasn't me. I saw gears, but I wasn't sure that what they were for.
Something.
Right.
But I know where the gears are if we need to go back to open it.
You know, if something happened that
Um,
you can't explain, it usually was Sable. It's a good rule of
Right.
thumb with them around.
Well, I thought it was maybe some magic, and I've seen people do some interesting things with it. I have one question. Steel, seeing you fighting, I've seen a bit of that in my time. You seem like you were a very agile person. How are you at trying to kind of scope things out without getting caught? Are you, I don't want to say it in a mean way, so don't take it that way, but are you pretty sneaky, pretty stealthy?
Right.
So if we get up there, are we able to do a little bit of a recon to see if there's another way in besides that bridge? I mean, I'm not going to say I think there is because there was a giant cavern underneath that did not look like there was a lot of crossable stuff, but we were carrying out some bodies of people who were unconscious and none of us were in our best health. But is that something we could think about to see if there's another way in besides the front door? I mean, I'm happy to knock a front door down and go in, but I'm just wondering if there might be another way in from what Xanth drew and kind of your ability to get around. I'm assuming not as noticed as the rest of us.
I definitely can scope the place out, but if we needed to, I think I could make it back to where I saw the gears and just open the door. But that would be like probably
You
loud.
We can send him in invisible.
You can make it inside the keep, right? You think you could?
Yeah,
Would
I
you have
think I
to
could make
scale
it
a
in.
wall to get
Yeah,
inside?
I could scale the wall or just find another. I would look around, but definitely could make it inside the keep. The question is like, how do I get back out or do I just let you guys in?
My only worry is they might be on kind of high alert, or they could still be fighting. That's the problem we run into, right? I don't know. We got a bit before Saelwyn wakes up, and hopefully, I don't want to push her because I don't want her to die. She's been good to us, but
Honestly,
sooner we can get the collars off, the
if
better.
if I can get this collar off, I have a way for us to communicate without without really talking. So I will be able to communicate with you guys from the inside. But with
What's
this
the
collar,
ability? Is it a spell?
no, I have psychic power.
All right.
That's
In
pretty
that
neat.
case, it also helps in the sense that I can cast invisibility on you, and you go in and get it open, and inform us basically when to charge.
I do. One thing I want you to know, still, because I don't want you to go off and get yourself killed, is you remember the trip across that bridge is a bit of a long run. So if we're hiding on the other side and you got to get all the way in and open that gate, you might have to try and hold until we can get to you. And while I'm pretty quick and I think a decent amount of us are all right with speed, I don't want you surrounded by 30 of those trying to fight your way out. 'Cause I don't. That's a tough one to survive.
They can get the gate open, and I can get my powers back. I can get there a lot faster than pretty much all of you.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Also,
right.
there might be
Any
a
of us
way
can't
for us
expect.
to. There might be a way for us to approach
Go ahead.
without using the bridge, maybe, or you know what I'm saying? Like maybe either going from
Mhm.
underneath the bridge and like climbing our way there. Uh, I didn't
Looking
get a
at
good look.
That's
Father
what I was wondering.
Dalton, I don't think that one's going to climb very well.
I hate to admit it, but I could put them on my back if I need to. I'm not that big of an asshole. But
We,
that's
we
what I was originally thinking, Phil. Maybe you could look around to see if there's a way in since you're quiet
right.
and
Yeah,
stealthy.
that would
You'd be able
include
to
the
find
bridge.
alternative
Right.
entrance.
Right. That would
Okay.
include maybe bypassing the bridge. I will scout it and then let you know the best way, or maybe we just open the door if we have to.
That's
But
what
maybe
do you
there's
think
a
is
way
the
to
best way?
sneak. If we could sneak in, that would be a better way.
I would be surprised if a place that large and that intricate did not have some hidden exits and entrances.
There was, where
Is it
we were, there was another door going the other way, and we never opened it.
there were a lot of doors we didn't even open. We
Right,
didn't
right.
have time. And I think when like Phil mentioned like the sneaking in, I hate to say it, but I think Bella's gonna kind of look at like Xanth and Cornelius. With her assumption from fighting with people, they might not be the stealthiest folks romping around
You literally see
armor-wise.
Cornelius walking around in chainmail, jangling around.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
that's what I meant. I think that that's kind of what it is. Like Bella told her, so she just looking and being like, they might not have the best sneaking body, but yeah, if we could find an alternate route. I hate to say it as much as I want to
I
jump
should
on
tell
them.
you, guys that I'm not used to working in a group of people. And so most of my jobs are solo. And it's going to take some getting used to. Just to,
Which
you
is
know, the teamwork aspect.
fair.
Nope.
Something to think
All you need
about.
to look at.
Don't worry. Yeah,
Hold
I
on,
understand
bud.
that. Phil.
Hawk. Then blue.
I was gonna say something to think about is I you don't have to look at us as a giant team. You can just look at us as a group of people fighting to survive, and working together is a better option than doing it solo. Because anybody goes in there solo, they're gonna die. Too many people to fight, and you just won't live. And teamwork either comes later, and we all become the bestest of friends and figure this out and work together, or we all end up hating each other and everybody goes off and does their own shit. I don't know. I was just thinking the immediate. That's all.
Well, I definitely don't think I could survive here without you guys. So that's without question the path forward. I'm just letting you guys know I might make some mistakes.
We probably all will.
You wouldn't
The
be.
hope is that
Yeah.
it doesn't cost us our lives. That being said, Father Dalton, what were you saying?
I forgot.
Thank you. Maybe mentioning you prefer working solo as well.
I think so. I don't know. Sorry, I literally lost the thought completely.
Sorry, I was trying to help it come back. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. That was my bad. I didn't hear you were talking.
Discord's a dick.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Right. Well, then I guess the next question is, what do we do until Saelwyn wakes up?
Well, as my old teacher used to say, when you have downtime, train.
Right. Yeah. And I hate to say this because I'd really like to get out there, but I don't know if leaving the cave's the best idea yet,
There's
just because
only edging at the peak.
Saelwyn did kind of mention that going out there with the collars on could get our heads exploded. So if you're wearing one, might not be the best idea. If you don't have one on, I don't know, don't get yourself killed. It might also be a bad idea.
If you can keep away from getting noticed, they shouldn't be able to trigger it.
Looking around, how big
Okay.
is how big is this cave? Is there like a good sized area that I could like spar with someone with or train?
Be a little bit cramped, but you could definitely do it.
Oh, we don't have to leave the cave to train.
Father Dalton, what do you excel at on the battlefield?
Disabling spells, fire magic, any sort of magic that involves destruction, death, and murder, manipulation of those around me to give me gold, and just the general stuff for sorcerers and bards.
Well, we know what direction that one's going.
Yes. So the tower's right over there. I point in the direction I think it is.
And you're able to help heal a bit, right? You and Varen, and I think the Pirate Queen over here can heal
Oh,
folks
yeah.
as needed some.
Oh yes, my blessed words heal all those who I can.
Bella, can you roll
Right.
me an insight real quick?
No.
Well, damn.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, I can, but you're not gonna like the roll, so. Insight. Yeah, I was gonna say we all know Bella only rolls well when it's in fights. Any skill checks, she nat ones on. That's her deal.
Fair enough.
Just
Technically,
her.
anyone at the table As far as Bella's concerned, Dan got a poker face.
She's paying
But
attention
anyone
to other
else-
things. Dalton's giving us
Yeah.
some guy to the dog, and Bella's just like, I'll beat
Do
you.
you
with
really
this."
want me to roll?
Go right ahead. Roll it.
Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Should I roll too? Is everyone rolling this?
Yeah.
Anyone
roll
at the table.
Anybody that's paying attention to Zane. So Cornelius is up
can
his
I
own
roll?
ass. As always.
I'm
Can you
still
roll my
staring at that
insight for
ring.
me, please?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Give me Father Dalton. Father Dalton. Let's see how good you see. Insight. Same thing as Baron.
Okay, so for Father Dalton and Varen, at the mention of Xanth healing, her face goes blank. It's not looks very just no emotions. Not in like a bad way, but in a Varen, you have a relatively similar backstory to what you had in the past, right?
Somewhat similar, yeah.
Okay, I will ask this here. One sec.
You can ask above table if you want.
Oh, I don't want to. One sec. That part of it.
Technically, yes.
Okay, that was what I was looking for. Okay, so you see that base. You see a similar look. You're familiar with at least somewhat on how they hide their emotions. You see that on Xanth's face right now.
Okay.
Cornelius will pipe up. I could also heal some. I could.
All
I
right.
could.
So I don't know if you can or not. I don't do healing. If I have a potion of healing, I can dump it down your throat, but I don't know how to tinge wounds besides like the very minimal basic stuff you might learn on a battlefield, but it's not my thing.
I also
So
don't.
that's what I meant.
I don't like the sight of blood, to be honest. So I definitely can't heal or stitch wounds.
All right. There's probably going to be a lot of blood where we're going. So I don't know if you need to close your eyes, but
I understand.
that was more what I was thinking.
I already saw more than enough blood on our way out, but it's to be expected.
I think Bella just laughs. But yeah, I just figure we got. I mean, more of us can at least patch someone up than those who can't, which is probably a bit beneficial. And without being too rude, then I think that the Dalton said what they can do. I don't really know what you and Zen can do yet. I have a pretty decent idea of what Cornelius can do.
I can heal people and I can burn things down. That's pretty much it.
Always nice.
You make it sound as if it's not a big deal. It's a big deal to be able to heal people.
Well, it's what I'm skilled at, and burning things is a decent pastime. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I should
As for,
mention. Oh, good.
I'm gonna say, as for myself, well, I'm good in the bar fight. To be quite honest, for the most part, I can take a hit, but I more so shine when I'm electrocuting people or drowning them. I'm better equipped to fight on the seas, but alas, we're in the mountains. I could still probably conjure up a decent storm.
Right.
Zan's gonna like put
So we
her
got
hand out and just summon, not like actually casting the spell, but just a little Think call lightning, but on a small scale, as if she's starting to cast it, but doesn't fully cast it. So, in her
Just a
hand,
little rain, just a little rain cloud.
just a storm, little storm cloud.
Right. All right. So we have two people who follow some deity, Dalton, who follows his own deity, lots of fire, lots of electrocution, stealthiness, and Bella just kind of stares at Father Dalton for a second. I say this one time without my collar on. When I get in a fight, I tend to start looking a little bit different because of my species. And so, as long as you don't continue to have issues with things that might be a bit wolf like, I think we'll somehow figure out how to be all right with each other.
When have I had issues with people who are wolf-like?
Looks at the dog.
You're not a very strong, are you?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't hate the dog.
You definitely don't seem like a lover of the canine species. So
I care about things that I care about things that want to stay alive. If the dog is gonna run off and get itself killed, it's no skin off our bones.
Put it this way.
Right. So if Father Dalton ends up somewhere in a different room and we just assume that he went off to get himself killed, we just go let him get himself killed, is what I understood from that. Perfect.
See, now you understand it. Now you understand it. I'm glad you finally get it.
that's incredibly stupid.
Wonderful. If you end up trapped in a room by yourself, we'll make sure to leave you in there.
If I end up trapped in a room by myself in that sort of situation and I die, then I was not strong enough to survive.
Are we
I
in
think that
chairs?
no matter how much,
No, you just kind of
I
sitting
think Bella's
on.
been standing this whole time.
There's not proper chairs. There's some stumps around the fire, but not around the where you are.
But
Wanted
is that
to
gonna
pick-
throw a chair at me?
No, I wanted to knock you out of your chair.
Oh, that's totally fair.
Okay, we're at a table though, right? So we're standing.
Yeah.
Okay, second. I'm gonna trip Father Dalton.
Fair. Need an athletics? Athletics or acrobatics from Father Dalton.
I'll roll acrobatics. My dex is better than anything else. Let me roll real quick. Yeah. I'll roll 20. Why are you rolling that piece of shit?
I don't know if I'm standing next to Father Dalton or not, but if I am, I
You
am
weren't-
not helping with that roll.
You're not now because Father Dalton's on the ground. It's a perfect takedown. Dalton just. Xanth starts to move. Dalton picks up on it too late. His legs are already going. He tries to get out ahead of it, but he's already off balance and he goes crashing to the ground.
Cornelius will look down at Dalton, look up at Xanth. Well, that was a fine sweep kick.
Yes, I will admit that was actually a very good move. I need to be more perceptive about these sort of situations. I appreciate the lesson.
The dog then goes and sits on Dalton's chest.
Okay, this is just slightly humiliating.
Cornelius pets the dog and feeds it a bit of food.
Eh.
Junie, do
Alright,
you know
fine.
this dog?
No,
Go
I
ahead.
thought he came through with one of y'all.
Where the fuck did you come from?
He moves.
I think it was in one of the cells when we busted out initially.
Does anyone have speak with animals? Anyone at all?
Not
Please
me.
do.
That's
What?
a whole nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Because none of us
really
are a
wish I
bard,
did.
none of us are druid, and none of us are rangers.
Uh,
I
Wait.
wish I picked up not
Oh,
beguiling.
I
There it is.
something.
I am 80% sure I don't have the spell. Let me double check real quick because it's been a bit since I've actually looked at my spell list.
Wait, are you a bard?
Yes.
He's
I can't
partially
remember.
bard.
That's partially a bard. So you could, in theory, at the very least, you might have access to it. I doubt you have it prepped.
Sadly, I do not. It was either that or Healing Word, and Healing Word won out.
I mean, that's fair. Because yeah, in Xanth's description of what she's capable of, the healing was never on the table. Didn't even acknowledge it.
Y'all can see the boofer is excited to get food. Their tail is going a mile a minute. Problem is, they're still standing on Dalton's chest, so their tail's just going smack, 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 smack against Dalton's face.
I don't know what you mean by problem.
Yeah, that
Cornelius is
sounds
just
perfect.
scratching the dog behind the ears.
Mm-hmm.
So Dalton, you are getting slapped with a tail by a very excited golden boofer.
No, we should probably come up with a name for this dog. Us calling it a dog all the time seems, I don't know, seems rude.
Maybe somewhere along the way we'll meet someone who can talk to him and they can tell us their own name.
I mean, that was my hope. That being said, Xanth is going to get down on the dog's level and go, "Can you tap one paw if you can understand me?"
You get a paw.
Smart dog.
Okay. So it's actually following the directions.
It just gave you a paw. You have its paw in your hand.
Maybe it's because you
Okay.
said paw. Maybe it's trained. Play dead.
You see they run off, get a hammer, throw it into the air, and they're underneath it, ready to let it hit it on the head.
No. Cornelius dives to keep the dog from getting
Yeah,
hit
I was
by
gonna
the
say
hammer.
Bella wants to dive and try and catch it. Yeah.
You see, it's a near thing. You grab the hammer, you're not sure if you get it in time, but by the time you look up again, Cornelius has the hammer, the dog splayed out on the ground. You see a little bit of blood trickle, or a little bit of red trickling from behind their ear, and they're just in Bella's arms.
Wait, did I not mention the cat? I look at the hammer. Is there any blood on the hammer?
There is a little bit of red on the hammer.
Suspicious. Cornelius is going to sniff it because you pulled this trick on me before, CC. I'm going to sniff it.
It smells not coppery. It smells
What does it smell like?
like ketchup.
Cornelius, that's ketchup. Where the hell did the dog even get ketchup?
You get booped at. Don't shut up.
All
And then he
right.
goes back to being dead.
I like this dog a lot, and since he's a bit of a wolfer boofer, I think
Another
for now
thing-
we're all right with it.
Bella, something that you do notice, the boofer, since they are now on their back, is a girl.
For goodness,
She's a
I'm
good
so
girl.
sorry. I didn't even realize that you were a girl. I didn't really check, and that's rude. So I apologize.
They lean up and lick your face. It's a slobbery dog kiss.
You are a very good girl, and I like that a lot. And you're very smart. What do you think about the name of being called something like Taco?
They boof.
Taco.
Like a happy boof or a normal boof?
It's a happy boof.
I mean, there's also something we could go with, like there's Nacho.
They boof again.
Subwoofer.
They boof again. They're doing the
Uh,
happy dog
What
taps.
about?
Okay, this dog
She
keeps
likes a lot
tapping.
of
It's clearly
names.
annoyed.
I don't think it's annoyed. She seems pretty all right. What about Catherine Zeta Bones?
The happy boof. Again.
I think she just kind of likes anything. So I guess whatever we want to go with, she seems to be pretty happy with it.
Xanth's going to while this is going on, Xanth's gonna start writing out the letters of the common alphabet, and is just going to put it this way: we're gonna see if this boofer can read. Gonna start putting letters on the ground and see if the dog can spell their name.
Well, Xanth is doing it. Cornelius is gonna mention a name that might trigger them. What about Miss Zalia?
Both.
You like that name, Zeldia?
Both.
That doesn't sound like a happy boof.
It's a happy booth. The dog's happy as can be.
Oh, okay.
Say that name one more time, Cornelius.
Zelda. Wait.
Right.
Cornelius will stay. Sorry, his eyes are going to get real wide. Zelda. And I
Uh,
You're
stare
trying
right
to
at him.
name the dog that because you think because it's a bitch.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's how. No.
I think Taco's a good name.
I agree. Taco is a good name. And everyone will say there's no insight for this. You just see Xanthus looking at Cornelius with just the biggest grin.
can I recommend a name, or am I still not allowed to, as the dog is sitting upon me?
But the dog's not on you anymore. They've gone off. They played dead.
How about Aura?
I actually agree with Father Dalton. I like that name. Eyes have not left Cornelius.
Cornelius like just walks over. Give it back.
Took you long enough to figure it out, you fucking dipshit. And Xanth just walks away.
Give me back my family signet ring.
It's as this is going on, you'll suddenly see the booper snap to attention and look at the opening. Well, not current opening, but where the opening is.
1 second, you cut out for me. What was that?
You see, all of a sudden, the dog suddenly snaps up, full attention on the doorway leading into the cave, despite it being closed.
I
Don't
draw
go
my
cross now.
I heard
Bella?
it. What'd you say?
I'd say it's a boofer still in Bella's arms.
Yes, they're suddenly very alert, very muscles tense. This dog is eyes on the prize. It's the door. It's just locked in.
Can we all see this?
I'm sure everyone else is.
Not hard to notice.
Cornelius will turn
Enough.
towards the door.
Hang on.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Cornelius.
draw my
Akak.
crossbow and look at the door as well.
So we got crossbow being rolled. Akak.
Bella's gonna put the dog down and go with it to the door.
Gotcha. And Corbelius.
Cornelius pulls out the shield and spear he found in the in the armory.
But
Looks like Varen's taking cover.
Bella, you've seen dogs act like this. This is the style. This is the way a dog, a service dog that works next to soldiers, reacts when something's going on.
Yeah. So I guess Bella will probably just grab the warhammer out that she got and kind of look down at the boofer and say, "We need to go outside then, see what's going on."
There's a booth. It's a small booth. You barely hear it. It's more you feel the booth. Those small pre-booth booths.
All right. She's gonna just kind of look back at everyone and say, "All right, we're going outside. If you come in, I guess get ready. If not, hide if you need to." And Bella will do what Dooney said, which was put your hand on the wall and it should make the wards or whatever, it should make the door open.
And it's gonna grab her warhammer and shield.
Cornelius walks over to the doorway as well.
CL is going to grab a nice warm cloak.
Get him. Beat it there.
Go ahead and open the door, Bella.
Bella's planning to when everyone's ready. She's just kind of giving everyone a minute to decide what they're doing, and then what's gonna open. And her plan is to follow the doggo.
So you press your hand on the stone wall, and it immediately starts to become warm and then transparent. As it does, you see the dog slowly make its way through. Careful steps, one after the other, stand low to the ground.
Bella's gonna do her best to kind of mimic that. I mean, she can't get as low, but basically go out carefully and not gonna run out smashing into
No.
things, if that makes sense. Slow and steady.
But you see they lead you all the way to the edge and start looking around. You still see the blizzard is still blowing. It's not quite as strong as it was yesterday, but it's going. But as you do, you see a problem as a bolt of red lightning streaks through the air.
If it's going for the dog, Bella's gonna jump on top of the dog to hide it.
No, it's just out there because the dog's still in the crevice in which y'all came through. You're effectively over them,
Okay.
peeking out, and you see it shriek across the sky in front of the entrance.
Does it hit the entrance or hit in front of the
No,
entrance?
it's not even going towards the entrance. It's just going past.
Dan's gonna look and come up behind Bella and look in the direction it's going.
It goes off to the left. But what is more worrisome, it's coming from vaguely the direction in which the keep was.
Did we see anyone using red magic like that in the keep at all?
No, but they were all dressed in red.
Okay, and then the next question is Xanth is here. Is Ciel here right now?
I
Did
am.
Ciel come out of the keep?
I did not, but I can. I can.
They
If
won't
I
be
see.
able... Oh, sorry,
I
Go
can-
ahead.
They won't be able to see as the
I was gonna say
crevice.
Bella just.
The crevice is too tight. Only one person can go through sideways. So even if they're still in the crevice a little ways behind. They can see you, but they can't see out.
Bella just wants to pass on to say that we need, like, if Father Dalton could come up and possibly Varen, that we're probably going to need people who can get things done at a distance. The assumption is with that red bolt going across, that it's people from the keep. And so the hope is they might not be able to come out first, and she doesn't want that to happen. But her idea is we're probably going to need people who could maybe throw some freaking spells. And that would
There's
be
so
like
much
our
going
Xanth
on,
and
it's
Dalton
so
and maybe Varen.
Yeah. Understood. Good to know. I shall be ready.
This bolt of lightning
Because
looks
I
larger
think I was.
than that of which a spell normally creates.
I'm gonna go back
Just in case.
inside.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back inside and describe it to Junie and ask if she recognizes it.
That sounds like rift energy.
Damn it! Didn't throw those rifts open.
Only one way to know.
Looks like we need
By
to go
going
check.
You
What was
see
that, Junie?
Junie
Just
looks
a minute.
back after a sigh. I don't know if I should come with you or not. I'd be the only one able to tell you what's going on, but if Saelwyn's left alone, she's unprotected.
We could leave the dog.
We could. Any ideas from y'all?
I won't. I don't think leaving just a dog with Selwyn's enough. They're very good boofer. They are wonderful, but gonna need someone who can keep us safe and maybe keep her stable because she's the only one who's gonna be able to help us after this.
Perhaps if you
Junie, is
bring
there
me back the
anything we could just
image.
look out for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they're up to something, if a rift is open, an opening, don't go in it. It's going to be too dangerous without you prepared and properly supplied. But if something comes out, be ready for a fight. If it's only just forming, it shouldn't... Nothing should be coming out yet, but it's best to get an idea of what's going on and how big it is.
We'll go check then. I can do a throwing when we get back.
This might also prove a good distraction to getting back in there. Or we
Yeah.
can wait for it to open fully and then Saelwyn
No,
can get the...
No. I think you have a great idea, but I feel useless with this collar on.
That's what I was about to suggest. We could wait the 18 hours, have the rift be more open, more likely to spit something out, and be fully prepared since Saelwyn should be awake by then and might be able to break them.
Plus, if that
What
rift
about-
opens, then that means the keep's going to be open too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
from
Bella, 1 second. Bella, you vote?
I think the rift is closer to us than we realized. The dog sensed it really quick. So I want to vote with Zenth. I want to go check it out. I'm not saying we get in a fight, we engage with anything, but at least from a distance, get an idea so we can pass on what's going on to Junie and Saelwyn when she wakes up. And it might give us a way of cover into the keep, but we can't go to the keep now with the collars on. So I don't want something to come out and it come here or anything, or be another person that they capture to take down and be tortured or sacrificed. I can't do that.
It should be days before the rift breaks down and releases what's ever inside. Maybe weeks, depending on its size.
Okay.
What you need is the
Well,
size of it,
I'm happy to
correct?
take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Above table, Bella still has the collar on, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Junie had said that she should be okay to go out as long as she doesn't get within
Yeah.
range of whoever can detonate it. She should be fine.
Yeah. That wasn't the thing. Xanth is going to go. I can go invisible and go check real fast. I'm not wearing a collar. That and I can
Don't
take a
know
hit.
quite how far away it. Yeah, but we
I
don't know how
don't
far
pl-
away it is. Go by yourself.
Oh, I'm not going far.
I guess above table, would we have any guesstimate of how far? Is this like a quick little 2-minute jog down the road, or is this going to be like a trip?
It's coming through the blizzard, so you're not entirely sure how deep into the blizzard it is, because your range is very limited.
Bella's going to look at Xanth and say, "You're more than welcome to go in invisible. I respect that, but I'm still going to go out there and take a look as well. You let me know when you're ready to go invisible, but we can't tell how far away it is, and I'm not going to let you just go wander through and possibly get lost."
Won't stop you.
Right. Anybody else trying to go with you? Staying behind, whatever you'd like to do.
If I'm in, go ahead.
I would like to join. It seems like fate of what we need to do is look at these things if we've been dragged here as some sort of Riftborn.
If you three,
I will stay behind and protect Saelwyn.
Right.
Father, Dalton?
considering that, considering the two other people who can heal are heading there, I'll probably stay behind and see if anything happens with our
Junie's staying behind.
e-collar. I'll stay behind.
Junie's staying behind, so you already have a heal at base watching Saelwyn with CL.
Isn't Junie still collared?
Junie's a mouse.
Junie was never with us.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm mixing them up. Well, if Junie can keep an eye on them, then I guess I'll join too. Kind of wish I stole one of their robes before we left.
Did you not grab anything from the armory to warm up with or anything?
I don't wear. I usually I just brought what I'm wearing. Besides, I don't wear armor. I didn't really have a need to grab anything from there.
Grab a cloak, Father Dalton. There's a blizzard outside.
Well, no, I have a cloak. I mean, a cloak similar to the ones those hunters are using.
Fair. Bellad was asking if you had grabbed something warm.
Oh, yeah, I've got this thing, but I naturally keep one myself. But yeah, I did grab a coat just to be safe.
Yeah, I think from what Junie is saying, I don't think we'll probably run into the people from the keep necessarily here. This is maybe the start of a rift opening, and just getting an idea of what's going on and then coming back. And that Cornelius, are you coming our way, or what's going on with you?
For now, I'm kind of useless. You mentioned you have an idea of what I can do in battle. I'm very hampered by my color. Plus, I'd rather not have my head exploded, so I will stay behind and deal with anyone who tries to get in here.
Bella's gonna look right at Xanth and be like, so he's a noble and a coward. Like it. Perfect person to fight with. Alright, let's go.
I mean, in fairness, if I still have one of the
Very
collars on me,
noble more than anything else, but
in fairness to him, if I had the collar on too, I would not be going out there either. But situations.
Also, you're all on a stealth mission, correct?
More or less.
We're not on a stealth mission. We're just going to look at where the rift is to see what we can figure out. I don't think we're going into some big stealth mission. We're just trying to see what we can find out real quick. Kind of roll with the punches. And I have my collar on, but I still think I'm pretty good at hitting things. And worst case scenario, my head explodes and I die. We all die one day. Happens.
Who else is staying behind, like in the party?
Yeah.
I'm definitely staying behind.
Right now,
Alright,
it's
so
CL and Junie.
All right, so I'll be the tank who stays behind.
Okay.
fair enough. Once we get out of like the crevice, Xanth is going to make themselves invisible.
Okay. You realize you really don't have to. With the blizzard blowing, you can't see very far. Just a heads up.
Fair enough.
Bella's gonna ask the Boofer if they'll stay close. Since they have probably the nose to smell the best, and maybe know where it is, but just say don't go too far because we'll lose you.
There's a small boof again as they immediately start getting on the move, moving through the snow as best as they are able, the wind flapping their ears back and forth.
If they look like they're having too hard of a time, Bella will offer to carry the dog as well.
No, they're doing all right. They're doing surprisingly well for the terrain.
Okay. Sounds like it, yeah.
But as that party leaves, leaving Cornelius, CL, and Junie behind, Junie returns to the tent to keep an eye on Saelwyn. What do the two of you do? As you see, once they are gone, the wall that turned transparent becomes opaque again, and you can no longer see through it. You no longer hear the howl of the wind from the blizzard.
Cornelius is gonna post up right next to the crack, the door, the quote unquote door, and just pretty much stand guard.
Yeah, CL will. He's just gonna position himself just near Selwyn's tent, and with his crossbow ready.
You hear Junie mutter something to Saelwyn. You best not be getting up, Saelwyn. I know you. This isn't the time to go play hero.
I look inside the tent.
You see this mouse is standing on a stool next to Saelwyn's bed and just giving her the stink eye, like, don't you fucking dare.
Okay, cool. I'll go back to paying attention to the door.
But for the rest of the party, you'll start making y'all's way through the blizzard. It's much harder to move this time as there's a lot of snow on the ground, and y'all keep sinking into it. Y'all sink pretty decently into it as well, going down all the way almost to your waist for most of y'all. The boofer, who's a little bit lighter, is mostly on top of it, moving along, so he's not sinking quite as deep. But she's having to stay up a little ways ahead so she doesn't fall into y'all's ruts. But she's leading y'all back along what you think is the same path y'all took to get here. And as each step continues, from time to time, you'll see these flashes of red lightning. Before, after a while, as y'all make your ways slowly through the blizzard, the lightning seems to stop. And the only thing you notice is the blizzard blowing around you. Before y'all find yourselves at the crevice that y'all originally came out, that led towards the bridge y'all had run across, where the keep was hidden. You can see the boofer is right at the entrance looking in, but waiting for you to decide what to do.
Did to follow. Let's get a look at the area surrounding.
We just kind of, I know we're well hidden by like the blizzard and stuff, but is there a way to just kind of, approach as cautiously as possible in case there's like breaks or anything in the ground from this random lightning striking?
Yeah, you'll be able to. But you'll be out.
Oh.
It'll be kind of dark, but you'll be out in the open if you try to cross the bridge. But you know, at the end of this area you're in, there should be a section where you can look across the bridge. But it takes y'all a little bit longer, moving slowly and carefully, not hearing a thing as y'all move down the path. When y'all come upon the turn that will take you to the bridge itself, who would like to take the peek, and how are you doing so?
Bella's gonna glance over at Xanth and say, I could either go up there and take a look, or if you want to try and go invisible, you can. I'm not gonna stop you.
Let me go invisible. I'm less likely to get seen.
Can you take anyone with you with your invisibility or no? Solo.
Solo. Unfortunately, I'm not that. I can only keep concentration on it on one person, and I'm actually. Let me look at invisibility real quick.
Do you have third level spells? Do you have third level spell slots? If you do, you should be able to cast it on 2 people.
Yes, I can take one more.
Do note most of them have collars, which may or may not
Yeah.
have issues.
Well, yeah, I'm
Baron
not
doesn't
taking
have a
Bella.
collar.
Only
Yeah.
Bella and the
Myself and the
dog
dog.
have the collar.
Right.
So I can take one, but I'm going to suggest it not to be those with collars. So
You have the choice of me or Dalton then.
I recommend I point to the other person. Say,
I also agree with taking Varen over you,
Yeah.
Father Dalton.
I mean no offense. Yeah, I do think I look like someone who can keep their ass quiet.
Not at all. Which is saying something, speaking that I'm in heavy armor.
Yeah, I know, but I am loud and I have a personality that must be unleashed to the blah 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 blah. You basically hear him going into another rhetoric speech.
You can also hear his voice echoing through the chasm.
Yeah, I'm going to
Bella's gonna
stuff
put
a
her
sock
hand
in it.
over his mouth. I was gonna say Bella's just gonna put her hand over his mouth and whisper in his ear. I understand that you have a lot to say, but we echo. You have to be quiet, which means you just can't fucking speak for a bit, okay?
Yeah, you telepathically
And
hear
then
in your
nod his
head. Yeah, you telepathically hear in your head me say, "Okay, all right, yes, that's a very very good point."
All right, and she'll just whisper back in the air, "Thank you," and then kind of nod to Xanth and Baron and say, "You fucking scream if something goes wrong, because we won't be able to hear you, and we will come running."
That's
trust
no
me.
issue.
I'm pretty good at making a lot of noise if needed. Ready, Varen?
Before we leave, I'm going to give you something to help you. She'll pass you a small amulet. Or
I'll
a
take it and
talisman.
look at it. What's
Say,
this?
it should help you if you fail at something. Might turn the odds in your favor just a tiny bit.
You guys think that's tomorrow morning?
Above table.
Packed with the talisman.
Got it. I know exactly what this is. Okay.
Yep.
Xanthus,
Let's see how the
is it
morning
like on a necklace or?
Yeah, it's a
goes. No,
little
I find all my friends tomorrow, so I'm gonna
glowing orange feather on a necklace.
Okay. She's going to nod and put it around her neck. Alrighty. And she is going to place. I need to see which one this is. Actually, she's not gonna put her hand on her talisman or on her thing because this is innate. But she is going to channel her own magic. And make us invisible. It feels like almost cool water going down your basically from head to toe until you can no longer be seen.
Okay.
Put it this way. Think of jumping in, just straight up jumping into the ocean. It doesn't make you colder than the blizzard, but
I am going to turn the tables on you and get you to roll an insight.
okay. I can do that. It's actually something I'm good at.
Oh boy. Yeah, Varen definitely tenses up quite tightly, especially since it feels like flowing water. There's a definite shiver of probably a bit of fear at that.
Xanth is going to. She's not going to say anything, not going to acknowledge it. Kind of one of those. She's not bringing attention to it.
Well, let's be off.
Xanth is going to grab a hold of Varen's hand so that we don't lose each other. Because while I can technically somewhat sense where you're at because you're under my spell, it's not perfect.
No.
So
Oh.
we're just going to hold hands.
And then you'll head around the corner.
Yep, stealth.
As you do, you realize you have a problem. Because across the way, where a keep should be standing, you see a crater blasted out of the wall, and in its place is a massive, dark red orb which has red lightning streaking across its surface, leaving these glowing red portions of the burned stone all around it, and there are red scorch marks that are glowing across the bridge. The keep is gone. And that, for tonight, is where we're going to be leaving it. Good job, you guys. That was a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to seeing what nutty things y'all do when y'all get back. For those that were listening in, I thank you as well for joining us this week, and I hope you come back to see what trouble this party is in. Y'all have a wonderful night. Peace.